Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the greatest podcast on planet Earth. Okay.
Alrighty.
Alright, guys, so something really crazy happened over the weekend.
What's that?
Why are you screaming at me?
I didn't scream.
Our king, the Pokemon god,
Doug Ford.
the guy with the nicest hairline in YouTube history.
Doug Ford?
He was the leader of the free world for a while.
Floyd Mayweather.
He had a really great trip to Japan.
Floyd Mayweather.
Wow.
Floyd Mayweather. And Logan Paul. Take it away, dude. We have our boxing insider right here.
That was an incredible fight. That was ridiculous.
So you were one of the...
that was actually ridiculous.
You're one of the...
I was not one of the $50 Patreons. You were one of the $50 Patreons.
You're one of the...
I did watch it live, though.
Unknown... Because I know there were
I was
three
a judge.
judges. Yeah, there were three unknown judges.
I was on the panel.
Eric was on the panel.
You weren't
All
allowed
three of
judges,
us,
but
1,
they
2,
still-
3.
I wasn't on the panel.
They still put me on
They
the
didn't,
panel.
they didn't even ask.
Yeah, that was... If you paid for that, like Floyd Mayweather himself said in the post-fight press conference, he's the best... he called himself armed robbery or something.
Oh, he legalized robbery?
Illegal, yeah, he's the best at legalized robbery. He stole all your money. He went out there and sparred for 8 rounds, didn't throw punches, just
He called
walked
it
him
legalized
down,
robbery.
and it kind
Publicly said that?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Well, I
because
mean,
he knows
he knew what he was doing. He knew he was going to
Nothing
go up there.
happened in the boxing
He didn't
fight.
want to go up there and hurt a guy.
At
that was
no
not a boxer.
point in that whole fight was anyone on the edge of their seat. Except for the the second round when Logan just started swinging.
No, that was the end of the first round when he thought he had.
When he
Floyd
started
Mayweather
swinging, people were
missing,
there's
missing.
two reactions you
Yeah,
had. You're
Jake
either like,
Paul-
holy shit, he's gonna knock out Floyd, or you're like,
yeah, exactly.
dude, he's just going
If
crazy.
you looked, he didn't hit a single one of those punches, dude. And then Jake Paul's sitting there saying, like, in the middle of the fight, Jake Paul was yelling, he's hurt. And I was like, dude, if Logan tries to go after Floyd right now, he's going to get knocked out if he thinks he's hurt.
This is the second boxing match you've ever watched.
Mm-hmm.
What would you rate it?
This one was definitely the most entertaining.
Compared to what?
Who was the other?
You only watched Ben Askren and Jake Paul, so that one
Yeah.
lasted
Jesus
30
Christ.
seconds.
Well, exactly. So this one went the full 8, which was very...
It went the full 8 because he
Interesting.
made it go the full 8.
The
The only thing with this whole thing is imagine paying $50 because you thought you were going to get a real boxing match. You seriously thought someone... Because boxers like that, they all... Like, Floyd doesn't want to go in there and actually hurt a guy that's not a boxer. He doesn't want to hurt someone because then it looks bad on him.
Well, he's been saying he's now not a fighter, he's an entertainer.
Yeah, he's a
Now
legalized
he's an
robber.
entertainer. He's a legalized bank
And
robber.
he took all your $50 because the best was, honestly, my highlight was the Instagram accounts during the fight because they knew people weren't watching. They posted memes that said, "Holy shit, Logan Paul just knocked out Floyd Mayweather." And the comments were saying, "I knew this was gonna happen."
The stupidest thing
all
about this
that.
whole thing is people not understanding that being 50 pounds heavier and 6 inches taller or whatever is such an advantage in a boxing ring.
And it was such an advantage, and still
This guy can
it's still a
touch
5
Floyd, and Floyd literally can't even touch him.
I know, but and still, even with that said, a 5'8", 5'7" guy was able just to walk him down.
3'8".
He was able to walk him down and laugh at him, and
If you guys want to know how serious the fight was to them, Floyd was laughing during the fight.
8 rounds, and he was baiting him, and just unbelievable. It was hilarious.
Of course, everyone's saying, "Oh well, Logan Paul, he lasted 8 rounds. We should all be happy for him." Well, if he didn't last 8 rounds and Floyd was fighting the way he was fighting,
Oh, I'd be embarrassed.
and he's been training for 4 years, I mean, that would be pretty embarrassing.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
the best was after or right before. Actually, they were trying to say Floyd was training because this one guy that doesn't even train with Floyd and was like trolling the media comes out and says he's training harder than he ever did for any of his title fights. They said he's training. That's what they said. He said he's training 7 days a week, a few times a day. He's training harder than he ever has for any.
I'm
title
sure
fight.
that in every other fight Floyd has ever had, I don't think he's smiled a single time in one of them.
No.
I don't think
He was
he's
having
ever
so much
smiled.
fun because he knew he was making so much money and wasn't even getting hit. He got hit once in the first round, and that was pretty much it.
This is how
The
the
only
fight-
significant strike was in that first round, and that's just
Well,
how
he
it
got
went.
hit 2 times in total that were actually 2 hits, and
Yeah,
they're
but
still weak.
usually he does get clipped in the first few rounds when he's feeling people out. He does get clipped a few times, and he does that. When he gets clipped, and that's when he kind of learns the guy's power.
Yeah, but the thing is that
He wasn't
Logan
in-
Paul was not hitting him hard enough to
No,
do
of
anything.
course not, and that's what I mean. Floyd was. That's when he started baiting him and playing with him because he
Yeah,
got
he
hit
got
with that,
hit, and he
he
realized,
realized
okay.
this guy's real big, but he has power, but he doesn't know how to use his power.
Well, I mean, you can have power and not know how to use it.
Well,
he
you have to know how
hasn't
to
trained
use it.
long enough to really have mastered a fucking punch.
No, but I mean, they both were up there entertaining people and making so much money. There wasn't a fight.
I have a
That
question.
was a sparring match.
What?
A fun sparring match.
So I just saw that Logan posted something on his Instagram story saying, like,
Holy shit, my brother just beat Floyd Mayweather.
no, Logan said this.
Oh.
Logan said something like, late night thoughts, ... Just realized every single one of my matches, like, I've made it the full 8 rounds. And my question is if that's
No, he
actually
hasn't.
something... That's what he said.
He got knocked out by KSI. Oh, no,
No,
it
he
was a
went
win
the
by
distance.
decision.
So my question is that actually something in boxing to brag about?
No.
No, because if you don't win,
No,
you don't
because
win.
everyone talked shit about Floyd Mayweather for the last half of his career because everything was a decision because he became a defensive
Yeah,
fighter
because it's
rather
boring.
than offensive.
It's boring to see people
Yeah,
not knock each
in
other
boxing, in boxing, they want things to knock out the distance.
They don't want to?
out. No, because that means no knockouts. Like
Because
you,
That's why Floyd had so many haters. Is because he was a defensive genius, so he always went the distance.
You
He knew how to outscore you.
yeah, you said you don't like watching hockey games that don't happen. You like watching fights in hockey games.
Mm-hmm.
People like watching martial arts because people hurt each other. If they're just
It-
bouncing
like
around
when-
for 8 rounds, you're not hurt that bad.
Yeah, like when a UFC
Oh.
fight goes the distance, people unless it's a war the whole time, it's not as good as
Like
if someone-
unless what is the guy that had like 3 heart attacks in the ring? Like you have 3
That's
heart
Kimbo
attacks.
Slice and Dada 5000.
If you have 3 heart
Dada
attacks in the
5000
ring,
has heart.
I will let you go 8 rounds.
Dada 5000 has so much heart. He had 3 heart attacks during that fight.
I'll let you go 8 rounds and I'll be happy.
that was
with it.
that was the best fight I've ever seen in my entire life.
Jake Paul is not a real, or Logan Paul is not a real fighter until he goes 8 rounds after 3 heart attacks.
He could go 8 rounds with Dada 5000. That would be a good fight.
I just don't understand why people are
I just don't
really
understand
impressed.
how
Whoa,
people
whoa,
are even impressed
whoa.
by Logan Paul. Did you see the
No,
size
I know.
difference?
But the thing is that I was most upset about is I'm watching it, and every time something looked like it was going to happen, he would just hug it out. And he would hug, and,
and Floyd
and
says
he's not
that.
hugging it out like I've seen other boxers
He's
hug
just
it
going
out.
to the clinch.
He's fucking putting
was-
them in a goddamn headlock.
Yeah, he's
Who was that fight
Or
between
like
the two
grappling.
older guys that we watched that one
Mike
time?
Tyson.
Mike Tyson and Roy
Yeah,
Jones
more-
Jr.
Yeah, that was like that.
They're
They
pretty
hugged
popular
so
guys.
You know those 2 old guys?
Those legends of the sport.
You
They
know those 2
hugged
fucking
so
old
much.
geezers? Yeah, I know, but he was hugging because Mike Tyson would have absolutely fucking
Yeah,
flatlined
the
him.
thing with that fight though is like Floyd didn't train for this fight really, but Mike Tyson actually trained for that fight.
Mike
Like,
Tyson was
he was
like
so
a gorilla.
sharp. He was so sharp for that fight.
If
it was
if he
unbelievable.
didn't hug Mike Tyson when he was coming at him like that, he would have literally had brain damage and probably been completely KO.
and at that age, you die if you hit.
Yeah,
like
didn't
that.
you don't you remember seeing him? When he like really got it, it was like 100 miles an hour.
Ridiculous, but no, I mean, it was pretty ridiculous. The thing that pisses me off is the guys going, "Man, Floyd didn't look that good in there," and I said, "What are you talking about? He had a guy swinging at him like crazy.
Floyd was 44
dodged,
years old.
He dodged every single punch and had no interest in engaging. He was just playing with
This
him.
guy for half the fight was literally shadow dodging.
Yeah,
I've
I know,
never
I know,
seen
it was
anybody
unbelievable.
shadow dodging.
He was dodging, seeing if Logan would throw at him, and he just wasn't.
He was
I don't know.
literally just standing there dodging, and then
He was-
Logan was
I
just
know.
getting ready. He was like,
Yeah, I know.
He's getting ready to hug him.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was ridiculous.
But you know what? If Floyd was really trying to go for the KO, it would have been disgusting because this guy the whole fight was like this.
His
You
hands
don't-
were not.
you don't like-
My favorite thing is he would start every round off like on guard, and then like 2 seconds in he'd just drop his hand
Because he was
like,
tired,
this
man.
is- No, I'm
After
talking
that-
about Floyd.
Oh,
And then
because
Floyd would just
because
because he knew, because he wanted Logan to
This
start
was-
trying to throw at him.
Literally after like the second or third round, this guy was so fucking gassed out.
Oh, he
I was
was
like,
dying.
dude, he's gonna just pass
Looked
out
like
from
he was-
fucking
and then at one
exhaustion.
point he didn't even sit on the thing on the
He
stool
never sat on it.
because
He just like this.
I think he did it after the one round because he was stretching after he got that body shot because
Yeah.
that body shot almost shut his legs down.
Well, I don't think what people realize that when he's getting hit in the ribs like that, but from Floyd, he's taking fucking punches like he never felt in his life.
He never felt those before, and that wasn't even Floyd going as hard as he could because Floyd.
And first of all, he's not in his prime. He's 44
But the
years
thing
old.
was, Floyd even said it in the press conference, the post fight press
You
conference.
mean the one where he was laughing?
He even said that he wasn't even trying to throw combos. Like he could have easily taken him out of there at any point. He hit him with the body shot that like really stunned Logan. He could have taken him out, but he said he wasn't really down to throw combos and stuff. He just wanted to have fun because if he threw a combo there, Logan was
But
dead.
why?
He didn't have legs.
Because he's doing it for entertainment. If he,
Well, and the
if
thing
he,
is-
if he puts this kid down
The
and he's like really hurt,
But
and
the
stuff
thing
like
is,
that,
it's a
He
lose
asked
lose
for it.
situation. But it's a lose lose situation because they go, this guy's 50 now, he should know better than to go and hurt a young fighter.
No, whatever.
But that's
if you
what they
get in
would've
the
done.
ring with him, like, expect to be hit.
But
is my
the
opinion.
thing with Floyd is he doesn't really have any interest in doing that. I don't think. He just wants to. He's a defensive fighter, so he was probably having so much fun just just defending, just dodging and
My glasses are so dirty.
baiting the hell out of him.
Okay.
They're so dirty.
But the highlight of my night, honestly, is Jake Paul, because Jake Paul was sitting at the side of the ring going, my brother just beat Floyd Mayweather. Let that sink in. And then he said,
so annoying.
50-1. You know, if Logan Paul were to have knocked out Floyd Mayweather, he still would have been 50-0 because it's an exhibition
it's a
fight,
fake fight.
and it's not
This is
not
a fun
governed or
fight.
anything. It'd be like if he lost a sparring match, which I'm sure Floyd has lost a sparring match before in his.
I don't think he's
30-year
lost
career.
a sparring match.
I think he probably.
I don't think he's ever lost.
He probably has lost a sparring match. Before.
I don't like when you talk about him like that.
Canelo's lost sparring matches before.
I don't care about him.
But my favorite thing is these like fighters that are saying, now you give me Floyd Mayweather because I'll knock him out or whatever. And it was like, are you joking? That'd be like saying 10 years ago, give me Muhammad Ali because I'll show him who the best heavyweight of all time is.
I don't understand. I don't know why people are so. They take so much pride from trying to fight someone or try to compete
Once
with
they
somebody
retire.
once they're not in their prime anymore. It's like
No, it's not
congratulations.
even that he's not in his prime. He retired.
No, but it's like congratulations. You beat someone when they were not in their prime. Why is that to brag about?
But nobody ever beat Floyd Mayweather.
No, but I'm saying like
Prime or not.
Why are people like who cares if you could be even if you could beat Floyd right now? Who cares?
Oh, you're talking about like top, like Canelo saying,
Yeah,
which he said
like,
he could knock out
who
Floyd
cares?
Mayweather right
Because
now.
even if you could knock
No,
him
but this is
out
the
now,
thing.
means
Like
nothing.
guys say that like that fought him and lost, and then now they'll do interviews saying that they'll beat him, but you lost when it mattered.
Yeah, you lost when it matters. So
And then
what
they
does it
say,
matter?
well, he was in his prime back then and I wasn't, but he was like 42, he was 39. They said that he waited till Pacquiao was old to fight him. He's like 3 years older than Pacquiao. So how does that even make sense? It's like
So,
everyone in the fight game.
There's
is
more
ridiculous.
drama with this whole story with the because people now they found a video of Logan actually looking like he got KO'd.
Oh, I dropped
And
it.
of
Limp?
course, yeah, he literally limp. He's like flaccid.
That was after the body, or no, that was after it was a.
It looked like what happens when your friend gets too drunk and you're trying to carry him out of the bar. This guy was completely out, and then of course he goes
Floyd
on
helped him
to
out.
yeah, he literally was holding him up. He's like, "Hey man, we gotta go
Get
8
your
rounds."
legs up.
Do
Get
you
your legs
remember?
back.
We agreed
No,
on 8
he was
rounds.
he was pinching him saying, "Get your legs back. Get your legs back."
And of course he goes on whatever live or whatever he put. I think he made a post, and he's like, "This didn't happen." And it's like, "What do you mean it didn't happen?
Yeah.
If you look at the video, you're not standing properly."
Look, Brendan Schaub, who's a fight analyst, and he loves the Paul brothers, he loves what they're doing, even said he was right at the side of the ring, and he was saying his legs went limp, and if Floyd were to let go, he would have dropped.
100%.
He said he held them up.
There was even a point in the fight where he bent over completely.
Yeah, he was.
I don't remember what was happening,
That was
but he
probably the
literally
body
just
shot. He
bent
got hit with a
over.
body shot. He was bent over, and then Floyd hit him with a body shot. No, what happened was he was trying to clinch with Floyd. Floyd got out of the clinch, and he hit him with a body shot, and it looked for a second like Logan Paul's soul left his body for a quick second. And then my favorite thing was in the post-fight press conference. He said no. Logan said no. He never really hit me hard. Like I was never on the ropes at any point or whatever.
Oh my god!
And even Brendan Schaub, who loves the Paul, said that his legs were given out, and he would have dropped if Floyd didn't help him.
Well, another funny thing too is when I saw that he posted a picture of himself
Yeah,
with his legs in the air.
Oh,
Why were the bottom of his legs bruised? I don't really know the biology behind
blood
that.
flowing?
Yeah, remember that picture I showed you where the bottom of his legs were purple?
Oh yeah.
I don't even
I think that
understand.
was edited. I don't think that was real.
But you
Why
know,
would they edit
you know what's
that?
kind of cool about Floyd
Make
Mayweather is
fun of
after
him?
the fight, people were coming in and saying like, "Oh, you went the distance. Does it look back on your legacy?" And he goes, "Who cares?" He said he's 50. No, he's the best ever. He said, "What are you talking about?"
If
He
you
went in
know
there. He said he went in there, had a sparring match, made millions of dollars, and then someone said, "But it's not all about the money." And he goes,
It's literally about.
"No." And then he said,
Oh, is this where he said about
you
the
might,
whole?
you might say it's not about the money, but your family can't eat
yeah,
can't eat
your
legacy.
family can't eat legacy.
He said your family can't eat legacy.
What? No, what was that? What did you make that sound for?
I thought you were gonna say something else.
Your family can't eat legacy, dude.
Yeah, he literally.
He
I
said
don't-
it is about.
I don't. If people, I don't know. Maybe the younger people because they don't really understand anything. I feel
But-
like young kids nowadays they think that YouTubers are like superheroes.
But my favorite thing about him is people think he still has an ego and stuff. He doesn't have an ego. His legacy's so set. He knows what he did. He doesn't care to go out there anymore and do anything. And as long as
if
he's
Floyd
making tons of money, he
Mayweather had
doesn't
an
care.
ego, he wouldn't have went into this fight with there being no winner.
He also wouldn't have went into this fight without training.
Yeah. He
He
literally
he
made
knew-
$30 million before he stepped into the ring just with sponsorship deals. He came out of the whole thing.
30
with
million.
about
No,
100
30 million a patch.
Oh.
30 million a patch on his
He
his
came out.
shorts.
He came out with apparently $100 million.
$105 million.
What a joke! He did nothing.
But that's the whole thing.
He had
of
fun.
course he's gonna. He went in there, had fun. It's like sparring someone just to see how you do, just to have fun or whatever. And my favorite thing is after the fight, he goes, you know what? He's a good young fighter, and he goes against heavyweights. It would be tough, but
Well, it's like, I don't see. This is the thing. The Jake Paul, the Paul brothers, they keep putting themselves up against opponents that realistically they wouldn't be fighting if they were fighting for real. If they were fighting for any kind of real competition, they would not be fighting even remotely close to the people that they're.
well,
they're
that's
penned up
Jake
against.
Paul. Logan Paul, I don't even think really wants to be a boxer, but then apparently
Logan Paul doesn't want to be a boxer.
No,
Yeah.
apparently he wants to be an MMA fighter. But I think that's the even worse
What?
idea.
He's
If,
gonna actually get
if
killed.
he went into the
Has he
if
seen
he
what
went
happens
into
to
light
MMA
heavyweight
fighters?
or heavyweight, you'd have got MMA. People got to understand this. At this point in this generation, boxing was huge in the 70s and 60s and 80s and all that 90s. But now that was during the heavyweight era, and then Floyd in his era and all that. It was huge, and it still is
My
big.
gun.
But the thing with boxing is now it's more of an entertainment thing. MMA, like UFC, MMA in particular, is an actual sport still. It's a people get so badly injured, they're tearing their knees up, they're breaking bones, they're getting absolutely like in boxing when you get knocked out. Unless you're Nate Robinson, usually you get up, right? In MMA, these guys are
Yeah,
locked
but
stiff.
usually they don't get
5
knocked
ounce-
out 3
They have
times.
4-ounce
back to back.
gloves. They have 4-ounce gloves on in MMA, and they're getting heavyweight. You get Francis Ngannou clearing your chin, hitting your chin clean. Can you imagine Logan Paul getting in there with Francis Ngannou?
Imagine him getting in there with Francis.
Yeah, that'd be a big fight. But no, he wants to go into MMA. It would go so poorly for him.
Nah, I don't know if that's true. There's no way he doesn't want to get into boxing when he's been training for literally 4 years straight.
I don't know.
There's no way.
I think
This guy takes it so seriously.
No, but the thing is, he knows that if he were to fight he's bigger than Jake. So the problem is there's really no celebrities that
He
are.
sat down and he said, okay, he sat down with his PR team and he said, okay, so who realistically could I fight? And then they showed him the
like
pictures
Deontay Wilder,
of the
like-
6'5",
Yeah.
super gods.
But this is it. Because he's bigger than Jake, so he's at the point where he can't fight like Tyron Woodley and these guys.
And he's
'cause they're not in
heavy.
his- Yeah, exactly.
And he's so heavy.
He's a legitimate heavyweight. He's huge, and he still got walked down by a 5'7" retired 44-year-old.
imagine.
But imagine what an actual heavyweight fighter would do to him if he was getting locked down by a guy
Kimbo
5
Slice
foot-
versus Logan Paul.
And people say he has power.
That would have been something.
Who?
Kimbo
Oh my
Slice.
gosh, he has no Kimbo Slice.
I don't know.
Okay, anyway, so, but think about this for a second. Imagine his power against heavyweights when a guy that's 5'7", he would weigh less than 155 pounds on fight day, that's 44 years old, ate his punch like it was nothing, and after he ate his punch, realized there's no power there, so he started walking him down and laughing. Imagine his power against a heavyweight, they wouldn't even feel it.
I don't know.
And the funny thing is he has power on bags and stuff, but when he's in a fight, he doesn't know how to use that power. Because it's totally different, because these guys are throwing counters at you and shit. Things that doesn't
This
that
guy
doesn't
was
happen in
Logan Paul was
sparring.
looking at that fight like he was running a marathon. This guy was not trying to do anything but survive.
Oh, he was trying to survive.
He
That's
was
why he
trying to
kept.
fucking
That's why. But the
survive.
thing is, people said it's so boring. But that's just because Logan was terrified. Once he thought Floyd would have had no power because he said he's old and small. He has no power. Once he felt Floyd's power, he was terrified.
Oh, after he got a couple body shots that got him good,
He
was
started
like,
clinching and stuff. He didn't want to get touched any more than that, because a little guy like that has so much power. But what he I think now kind of has to start realizing is
you know what pistol shrimp is?
no.
It's the strongest animal in the entire world.
Oh, I've seen that. They punch the
Yeah.
fish
These-
tank glasses and stuff.
These shrimp or whatever, they can punch so fucking.
They punch out their prey. They
They
punch
can
them
punch
out.
so hard that the water around their punch becomes volcanic almost.
Yeah, and it can break glass of fish tanks and
How
stuff.
big is it? Like
It's
a
like
little
a
shrimp?
It's small.
Yeah, search it.
But anyways,
What the fuck?
I think he realizes that if he fought a heavyweight fighter, it's actually like a life or death thing. Like if he fought a heavyweight, it's a life or
I
death
don't know.
thing.
If he gets into MMA and he actually wants to try competing
He's
in
gonna get
MMA,
murdered.
he can't be calling out boxers doing MMA. They're not going to do it.
No.
So then he's going to be getting some real
But
competition.
the thing is, in MMA, there's all the organizations are not going to do. They're not going to play the same game boxers do because boxing has always been about
no,
making money.
there's a company that said they'll take him.
No, I know, but they're not.
Bellator?
Yeah, Bellator, I know. But the thing is they're going to put them up against real fighters. It's not like boxing where they'll put up entertainment.
Yeah, it's not for
MMA
entertainment.
doesn't do that.
It's a
They're
blood
going to
sport.
put you against a killer, and you're going to get killed.
They're saying that it has to inevitably come down to Jake versus Logan.
Yeah, and
I think
and
Logan would
fighting
win.
each other?
Logan would
Yeah.
win that. People. Okay, this is my biggest thing. Is people were going.
Well,
I can
we've
tell-
never even seen Jake
No,
fight somebody.
But this is what I was. Let me finish my point, dude.
no,
I'm
dude.
talking, dude.
I don't care, brother.
You're so disrespectful.
Try to fuck them all.
He was saying people on Twitter were going. I can tell already I know they go, I know it's different opponents, but I can tell already Jake's the better fighter. I said, how can you tell? I think Logan's the better fighter, honestly.
Jake has never fought anybody where they were defensive, where he had to be defensive at all.
But you also never have seen him really go past the first round. You don't know his cardio. You don't know anything about how his power lasts through the rounds. Look at Logan's power through the rounds was getting so sloppy.
He was fucking so gassed.
If he was against a active boxer that actually wanted to win that fight, he would have gotten killed in that second round.
Floyd was the complete opposite of thirsty for that fight. He didn't care.
No, he didn't care. I know.
So
that's
there's
what I'm
no
saying.
point
Put
where
him
Logan
against
was at danger.
But this is the thing. People go, man, you made boxing look bad, Floyd. But Floyd doesn't care about boxing anymore. He retired. He's an entertainer. And boxing, and the reason why he doesn't care about boxing is because boxing never cared about him. They always watched him to see him lose. They always shit-talked him. They always said, oh, he lost that decision and all this nonsense. They discredited him every chance they could. So why would he care about boxing? Imagine you get a guy in there that actually cared about boxing, said, I'm going to prove my point here against Logan Paul, the way he looked.
LP.
And honestly, Logan has so much size on Jake that he would probably murder
No, I don't
Jake.
think it's a competition. I think Logan's taking that, and I think Jake is gonna have to grab his hat afterwards because that's the only thing he's gonna be grabbing.
Yeah. And the thing with Jake, it's overrated how big Jake is.
Jake is not big.
Jake is heavy, which is actually a disadvantage because in Jake's weight class, he'd be like Mike Tyson in his prime. Just not with the skill and the power and
Jake is. If you look at the two,
he'd be very small. He wouldn't even be a heavyweight.
If you look at their physique, one of them is like pretty shredded. He's very muscular. The other one is like he's got a little chunk on him.
Well, like Logan is like a naturally gifted athlete.
Okay, do you like him?
Yeah.
All right.
I want to be his trainer so I can show him how to fight.
What do you want to train him at?
MMA.
You just want to cuddle with him?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I think Jake is actually not as skilled of a fighter. I think they're both the same, to be honest. And I think people go, oh, well, look at Jake's fight against Deji.
Deji's
are you joking?
A random
Logan has always had better opponents. He had KSI, who actually was like athletic and training, and I mean he beat Logan. That was, but like I don't know. I think Jake the thing with Woodley is watch all his clips. It's honestly kind of worrying because he has zero head movement whatsoever. His head is on a it doesn't move. It's not. It's the opposite of a swivel.
At no point was I. Oh, okay. This is gonna be really hard for Jake. This is another case of a guy who's former something going into a ring.
Well, and he's lost 18 straight rounds or something like that. I forget how he ended his MMA career. He lost 18 straight rounds, 4 straight fights, 18 straight rounds. Like he lost every round. I don't know.
This is just they shouldn't allow stupid shit like that.
But I mean. It's a dangerous fight too. If he actually can get back to kind of his old self, which never happens in combat sports, he flatline Jake.
The problem, I just can't believe that people had to pay full price. It's crazy that people are paying full price to watch this shit.
I can't believe someone bought $50.
Written and planned before.
They probably planned it so much. I really think that this fight was planned to go 8 rounds. I think no matter what happened, that's why I honestly think that's why he held him up. Because he wanted to go 8 rounds.
Floyd had no interest in ending that fight. He was having so much fun, and you know what? People also forget about is that's the last time you'll ever see Floyd Mayweather in the ring. They said that at the press conference.
No, he said he's going to fight Jake next, most likely.
No, he said he said he's done fighting. He said that he's not pretty much 90% sure he's done with exhibitions too. So he's probably going in there going, it's the last time they're ever going to see me fighting.
He probably said maybe Jake next because he was like, maybe I'll get $50 million and I'll do another 50 and I'll double up to 100.
I don't think he'll do it.
But then he got that 100 million and he was like, fuck it, never mind.
Yeah, he said that. He said that before the press conference, I think, because at the press conference they said he's done. It's the last exhibition you'll ever see him in, most likely.
His last opponent was that Asian guy, right?
Yeah,
he was crying.
Yeah, but you gotta also that was 4 years ago, and Floyd was actually he didn't train. Yeah, he didn't train for that fight, but that was only a couple months after the McGregor fight, so he was still in really good shape. He hasn't trained in 5 years, and he hasn't seriously trained for a fight since the Pacquiao fight, which was 6 or 7 years ago.
He keeps himself in decent condition, but that doesn't
really
mean that he's ready to fight someone in the ring.
When he's training for a title fight or a fight like Pacquiao, that's a big deal. Like that's
Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao would have been smaller
than Floyd. I think this
Friday
and he is the
Logan.
YouTube versus Twitch thing.
Yeah, it's.
What is it? Do you know?
I don't know.
What's your question?
The YouTube versus Twitch people, or not Twitch, TikTok.
That's the most. That's the most.
It's this coming
competitive
weekend.
fight coming.
They should have all the YouTubers standing here and all the TikTokers standing at the other side. And the TikTokers should be introduced. You know how they always have an
Dancing.
introduction? Just doing like the fucking
Yeah,
dance.
it's
and
insane.
shit. Charlie D'Amelio and shit comes out. Who was the other ones?
Yeah.
Addison
Oh,
Rae.
that's what I will say is what I liked about this more than the Jake Paul one was that this wasn't like
Fight?
like
This is a fight.
Snoop Dogg didn't show up and
Oh, yeah.
and like Ben Askren and there wasn't Ben Askren on the card.
You mean Ben Askren?
That was Ben Askew, and they had Jimmy Lennon Jr. instead of Buffer, which is a WWE fighter or entertainer.
And they didn't have the announcers talking about people's like balls.
He's
and
gonna
stuff.
come.
Like it just like it was nonsense.
Yeah.
Jake, this is the thing.
But Logan Paul would have never.
Logan's whole setup, everything to do with the Logan fight was
Yeah.
like, okay, it's a fight.
It's a fight,
Everything
yeah.
to do with Jake is like, oh, it's a
It's
huge
a show,
gimmick.
yeah.
It's a huge.
But
gimmick.
but the thing is,
Yeah.
you would have never gotten Floyd on board with the other one, with the Triller thing. He would have never done
because he's not walking. You're not going to get one of
It's
the most
embarrassing
decorated
for him.
fighters in
Yeah.
history having the announcers go, "Oh, bro, I'm gonna come."
that. Yeah, it's
It
like,
just he doesn't want that.
Floyd doesn't play like that.
It doesn't make sense to him.
But I don't know. I feel like if the thing is, I think they're so close to being done boxing. Like if Jake were to lose his next fight, and if he like gets knocked out to Tyron Woodley, I don't think he ever boxes again. Like if it's a humiliating knockout,
If Jake
he's
gets-
not gonna be like, well, I'm gonna come back from this because it's not like, oh, but look, man, he has 10 wins in a row against like title contenders and killers, man. No, it's like, oh shit, maybe he's not that good. He won against Ben Askren and Nate Robinson and Deji.
I think that
I would have beat Deji.
if
man.
if he can get a good KO on Jake Paul, I think you're right. I think he's done.
I think he's done
I
because
don't think so.
he has to be
Because after
nobody's
that-
gonna buy that because
This is the thing.
because
People
Tyron
are-
Woodley's not even a great, but he's a good striker. But that's striking and boxing is totally different. MMA striking is ways off of
This
high
is the
level
thing. If
boxing.
he loses to somebody who isn't even a boxer,
It's
okay, this
done.
is the thing. People are buying into the Jake fights because Jake is now like untouchable. He's like flawless. He's knocked out all of his opponents.
He's beat a YouTuber, an NBA
Yeah.
player,
What
and
if he
a
loses
wrestler.
One time, then
Yeah,
he's
because the
done?
thing is, you're buying into this idea that this guy is just gonna knock because he's knocked out everyone, right?
Yeah,
He-
no, he didn't knock Deji out.
Okay, but that one's really irrelevant. The last two fights he's had, it's a KO and it's early KOs too. So when people are buying into
It was
this,
a TKO against Ben Askren. That was an early stoppage.
he's so people are buying into the idea that he's gonna knock him out first round. This is gonna be like we're just gonna watch him flawless again.
But this is the thing. If he it's what you said. If he loses against Woodley, he just lost against a guy that's not even a boxer.
Yeah.
The only way he comes back after a
Is
loss
fighting a
is
big
if
boxer.
he beats Woodley and then beats a boxer, like a low level boxer, and then loses to the next boxer he fights. He can lose. He has to win against one boxer before he can lose against one.
I don't think
Because if he loses his first fight against a low level boxer, they're gonna be like, well, he's just not. He's a low level fighter.
No, I think it's done because if he loses, I think his whole team and his whole marketing strategy is him going whatever and He doesn't want to lose. I think
Yeah.
once he loses, it's gonna be
He's done.
for his fan base at least. They're gonna be like, oh, he lost to an MMA fighter who's basically retired almost. We're like, what?
They'll say it was an early stoppage, even if his legs are locked straight. If his legs are locked straight, they're gonna say it was an early stoppage.
If Jake's bones come out of his fucking leg, you're gonna be like, that.
Well, it's
he
like
shouldn't have called that.
when Floyd played around with McGregor for a few rounds and then absolutely destroyed him. And then as soon as they stopped it,
But that's what he does. I
No,
don't
no. My
understand.
favorite thing with McGregor is McGregor said that was early. He was this close to falling out of the fucking ring.
The
man.
thing is, I don't understand why people keep watching the Floyd fights and going, why is he doing this?
he's been doing this for
This is
for the past.
literally his strategy.
Yeah, remember after the Pacquiao fight, people were like, it's the most boring fight ever. Or that he just
That's just what he
But
does.
that's what he does. That's why he makes so much money, and that's why he has no brain damage at this age.
And that's
'cause
why
he's so
he keeps
defensive.
winning, because he's studying you for 2-3 rounds. And
He's an
like,
expert
okay.
at scoring points. He knows how to win fights based off points. He doesn't need to knock you out because he's going to win on points.
I don't know. People just are.
But people just have
This
no...
whole fighting thing is crazy. I think I'm going to end it on this. I've been doing a lot of thinking about what we can hop into next
Yeah,
in terms
boxing.
of like YouTube
Again.
celebrity shit. Boxing is whatever.
No, I'm
I
going
think
MMA.
that I think that what they need to do, because we talk about putting them in NFL, it's too hard for them. I think we should have them do golf tournaments.
No. Sprinting.
Oh
No.
my
Sprinting.
God.
I was just thinking
Give
golf,
me a
but no.
YouTuber. Give me a YouTuber.
No, but listen. Sprinting. Because that's something you can't train yourself to go faster.
Gymnastics.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine
I'm
Logan Paul trying
watching
that. Anyways.
All right, thank you for watching. This has been a great podcast. Probably the best podcast on YouTube, I think.
By far.
Yep.
And I'm on Impulsive after this.
This is the best free content you're gonna get on the internet. You know what I mean? Anyway, like,
and that's our subscriber.
Oh
To our
yeah,
subscriber, man.
I can't
I
clap,
know you waited
it's
for
too loud,
this. You
but
waited for this.
You're that MVP, dude.
You're the number one. We'll invite you on.
All right, thank you for watching, commenting, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you.